Okay, so today I want to talk about Austin topping almost every list for people wanting to move here. Better. And I kind of get it. After living here about 5 years myself, I understand some of the things that might turn people off. So if you want to know 5 reasons why you shouldn't move to Austin, stay tuned. And if this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe so every time I drop new content like this, things that talk about Austin and what it's like to live here, you get notified. I just want to say, before I go any further, some of these things that I mentioned might actually offend people. So forewarning for that. But I don't really like to hold back. I want to tell people the whole truth so they know all the information. So here goes. The smell. I have to address the smell, seriously. Sometimes you could be walking behind a building and it smells like rotten eggs soaked in hot dog juice. Now I can attribute this to 3 different reasons. The first reason is that there's a large population of people that don't have a place to live, which translates to them not having a place to go to the restroom. This reminds me of a particular occasion where there was a group of us going to see an art exhibit, and it was, kind of street art. And this particular one was under a bridge, and you actually had to avoid the human on the ground, literally. Next is guano. I know I've mentioned somewhere that we have 1.5 million bats living under the South Congress Bridge, and you can most definitely tell. And there are multiple places where our flying rats have found a new place to live, probably where it's cheaper, like in Round Rock along I-35. And the last one is barbecue. Hold up. I think Texas barbecue is some of the best, if not the best in the world. However, it's about as potent as half a bottle of Axe body spray. It's delicious, it's nutritious, and the smell is so strong that people that don't eat meat have actually complained that it's disrupted their lives. They were actually repulsed by it. Let's talk about this cost of living. Now this isn't Cali or New York, but it's starting to feel like it with some of the rising real estate costs and frankly how rude some of the drivers are these days. I remember about 2 years ago, I put a group of people, it was 4 people that ended up renting out a home for $2,200 a month for a 2-bedroom. And food is no exception. In fact, I follow ATX Broke Girls on Instagram because if you know me, I like food. But I want it to be delicious and I'd love it if it was cheap. Now, if it's amazing, then the price doesn't really matter. And then people come from around the world to visit this music capital to find that one pass costs a G. That stands for Grover in Grover, Cleveland, in case you didn't know. The median home price is about $365,000 and it shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. And if you look back at 1990, which really wasn't that long ago, the median home price was $80,000. Everywhere you look, people are driving around in $80,000 vehicles. And that's one reason why more than 50% of the population has to either rent or move to the suburbs. Traffic. I have this theory that Austin has more bad drivers than any other part of the world, but it's not their faults. Here's why. When you have everyone moving here, you end up with an amalgamation of cultural anxiety on the road. I've got a question for you. What happens when you put someone from LA, New York, Brazil, and India on one 4-lane road going 85 miles an hour? Austin, that's what happens. That's why so many companies here promote telecommuting jobs, because otherwise you'd be sitting on the road for an hour each way just to go 7 miles. Or, I guess you could always scooter. The weather. I'm infatuated with a warm and sunny winter. Heaven knows I've seen enough of this. I've ridden motorcycles ever since Topanga was in my life.
There's nothing under these covers but me.
But up in Chi-Town, you had 2 months of good weather, good riding weather, if you're lucky. Otherwise it was too cold. And here, it's flipped to where it's about 10 months of good riding weather. But for 2 of those months, everyone stays inside. I mean, have you ever been so hot that you're naked and sticky? Can you imagine? Austin actually had a time where there were 100 days over 100 degrees. Lake Travis had trees growing out of the middle of it, and if you went to a restaurant, they didn't just bring you water, you had to request it. Now, if you grew up making snowmen, that can take a toll on you. And this isn't directly related to the weather, but it does coincide. There's this new breed of allergen that's so strong, people that never had allergies before started developing them. We call it cedar. And you know those scenes in movies where you see people like brushing snow off their cars? Or I guess in real life if you're still living up north. Now imagine that, but instead of white snow, it's green pollen. Hippie Hollow, naked bike rides, peacock parks, cat cafes, rainy street, chicken bingo, breakfast tacos, turtle racing, man buns with beards. I'm just kidding about that one. Really though, while these are a draw to the Zen handlebar trendsetters, not everybody likes that. There are people out there that don't actually like other people. They prefer spending time with their pets instead. They want space between their homes, a smaller town feel, and to not have someone run up and start wiping your windows because you accidentally made eye contact. The city of Austin is very liberal and progressive, while everywhere around it, the rest of Texas is very much not like that. So there's a bit of an identity crisis there. The good thing is, it'll keep you on your toes. Okay, what did you think? Did I hit the needle on the cactus? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to see if I missed anything. And thank you again for staying through the whole video. YouTube and I appreciate it.